All right, welcome. In this explainer, we're going to break down one of these big GCSE maths questions. It's worth a massive 7 marks, and I'm going to show you exactly how to think like an examiner to make sure you bag every single one of them.
Okay, so let's get right into it. We're looking at question 11, a 7-marker on cumulative frequency. Now 7 marks, that is a massive chunk of a paper that's only out of 80. Seriously, getting this one question right could be the difference between grades.
So first things first, we've got part A. The question asks us to complete a cumulative frequency table, and all that really means is keeping a running total. Getting this part right is absolutely crucial, because everything else we're about to do depends on it.
So how do we do it? Simple. We're just going to add as we go. We start with 7, then we add the next lot to get 28, then the next one to get 43. See? You just keep that running total going all the way down until you hit the grand total of 60 parcels.
And just for doing that, boom, you get your first mark. And check this out. The mark scheme says B1 cow. Now that cow is super important. It means correct answer only. There's no room for almost, you've got to nail it. But hey, we did, so that's 1 mark in the bag.
All right, part B. Let's see how this builds. Now we take the numbers from our table and turn them into a picture, the cumulative frequency graph. This is where you've really got to be precise.
Okay, listen up, because this is probably the #1 spot where people lose marks. You have got to plot your points against the upper end of the class interval. Why? Well, think about it. That first value, 7, represents all the parcels weighing up 2 kilograms, so the point has to go at 2,7. The next one is at 4,28, and so on. It's such an easy mistake to make, but a costly one.
And here's the cool thing about how the marks work. You get what's called a method mark, an M1, just for plotting most of your points in the right place. So even if you mess one up, you're not out of the race. Then, if you join them all up with a nice smooth curve, that's your accuracy mark, the A1, just like that, 2 more marks. Okay, so we've got our beautiful graph. Now it's time to actually use it. Part C wants us to find something called the interquartile range, or IQR. So what on earth is the interquartile range? Don't let the name scare you. All it is a way to measure how spread out the middle chunk of your data is. You basically chop off the lightest 25% of parcels and the heaviest 25% and see what the weight range is for that 50% left in the middle.
So to find that middle 50%, we first need to figure out where the cutoff points are on our graph. Our lower quartile, or LQ, is going to be at the 25% mark. So 0.25 times our 60 parcels, that's 15. The upper quartile, UQ, is at the 75% mark. So 0.75 times 60, that's 45. Easy.
Right, this next bit is so important. You have to show you're working on the graph. I mean it. Draw the lines, go from 15 on the side, across to your curve, and then straight down. Do the exact same thing for 45. This is you literally showing the examiner, hey, look, I know what I'm doing.
And here's another reason why showing you're working is so smart. You get a method mark, even if your final answer is slightly off. As long as you correctly find just one of those quartiles from your graph, say you read the lower quartile as something between 2.5 and 3, you've bagged that M1. And for the final A1 mark, you just subtract your lower reading from your upper reading. And don't panic if your friend's answer is a tiny bit different. The examiners know everyone's curve will be unique, so they give a range. As long as your final answer for the IQR is somewhere between 3.4 and 3.8, you get the mark.
Okay, we're on the home stretch now. The final 2 marks, part D. We're going to use our graph one more time to answer a question.
Now you've got to read this one carefully. It's a classic trick question. See that word, more? Not less than, more than. That's our cue that this is a 2-step job. So step 1, we do the opposite of what we just did. We find 7 kilograms on the bottom axis this time, go straight up to our curve, and then hang a left and go across to the frequency axis. And then we just read the number.
And guess what? There's that friendly method mark again. Just for doing that and getting a reading somewhere in the range of 47 to 53, you've already banked one of the 2 marks. See how these M marks add up?
Okay, but here's the trick. Let's say you read 50. What does that number actually mean? It means 50 parcels weigh less than 7 kilograms. The question wants to know how many weigh more. So all we do is take our total, 60 parcels, and subtract the 50 we just found, which gives us 10. And that final little subtraction gets you the final accuracy mark. Again, there's a range. As long as your answer falls somewhere between 7 and 13, depending on your graph, that's it. Full marks for this part.
So there you have it. Let's just pull back for a second. That big, scary 7-mark question, it's really just 4 smaller, manageable little puzzles put together. If you follow the steps and show your work, you can absolutely nail it.
So let's turn this into your go-to checklist for any question like this. First, get that table right. Then, remember to plot at the upper boundary. Super important. Draw a nice, smooth curve, not dot to dot. Show your working lines, always. And for goodness sake, read the question carefully to make sure you're actually answering it. You do that, and those 7 marks are yours.
And you know, this whole idea of thinking like an examiner, it doesn't just apply to this one topic. This way of breaking down the question, looking for where the method marks are, that's a strategy you can use on the entire paper. It's a complete game changer.